Hello everyone. In today's video I want to talk about the stats of the game, which those are pretty much attack, defense and HP. Here in this game we have physical defense and magic defense, but it's pretty much the same concept. I'm not gonna speak about March speed because it's not relevant for this topic. I want to tell you, in my opinion, which stat is the best one, because I do believe there's a better stat than all the rest. Not for all the marches, but for like 90% of the marches that will be the case. Okay, all this comes from having played Rise of Kingdoms, where like so far I haven't seen really any videos about this on Call of Dragons, and I assume the game uses the same formula for combat as Rise of Kingdoms regarding stats, and in Rise of Kingdoms pretty much like the formulas were cracked and like everything is like common knowledge on how exactly everything works. So yeah, so from attack, defense and HP, in my opinion the best stat is HP. HP is the best one by far in 90% of the cases, okay, and I will explain why. If we go to the tech in the game, we can see here, for example, cavalry defense, cavalry attack, okay, there's no HP. This is melee unit defense and melee unit attack, same for that, so it doesn't really matter. Then we go here, then we have here Legion defense, Legion attack, Legion HP. And then here we have more Legion defense, more Legion attack and more Legion HP. All of them are same value, 25%, 25%. And then here again we have once more Legion attack and Legion defense. So clearly we have a lack in HP, okay, because here we only get attack and defense, and here we only get attack and defense, okay. In these ones we get the three. So how the formula works in Rise of Kingdoms, and I assume it's the same for Call of Dragons, is you don't wanna like overcommit on one stat. Like for example, you don't wanna have 300% attack and like 50% defense. You're gonna lose the fights. Like yes, there's diminishing returns to overstacking one stat, okay, to the point where every single point you add further along the way is not really benefiting you that much, okay. The best thing you can do, like the most optimal combination of stats, especially for defense, which will be defense and HP, is to have this like the closest you can defense and HP. You want to have almost the same value, okay. Of course, if you have a bit more defense, which will be probably the most common thing, there's no problem. But like for example, let's say you have a march which is, let me check one of my reports, for example, I don't know, let's check these ones, Legion buffs. Okay, so what can we see from here? I have 165% attack, 54 defense and 23 HP, okay. My top priority for this march to improve its performance is to pump this HP. Ideally we'll have 54 defense, 54 HP and then like a bit more attack, okay. That will be the ideal outcome. Then again, it's clearly a massive gap, like we're talking about 30% less stats. So this is making my defense less, not valuable, but less optimal, okay. I'm gonna try to find the formula that we used in Rise of Kingdoms to calculate stats and throw it out here. But if you played Rise of Kingdoms, you know the most stat sought after is HP. Like all the equipment builds, everything is made around HP because this is the stat that you lack the most. Now, where would we have some exceptions? Bakshi might be one. So pretty much every time you cast the rage kill, you get 20% extra HP. Plus here I'm missing, how much is it? 6% extra HP. So we will see that this march kind of has like 26% more HP. That will put me pretty much at the 50% mark, pretty much making it even, okay? So let's see, for example, like the issues here, we don't have equipment to really play around our stats, but let's see, for example, I have two artifacts, one gives me attack and like one gives me defense and the other one gives me HP. So what I would want to do is add the HP one, so I constantly have equal no matter if the skill is being cast or not. I gotta say, due to how caps work and this being like 5%, like you're pretty much playing with equal defense and equal HP, and that's probably one of the reasons why this march does so well, okay, because the defense in this march, due to the Bakshi buff, like it's constantly having optimal defensive stats, okay. Now let's say for example you end up having like, I don't know, 60% HP. Like imagine I have 30 here and then I get 20, what is it? 24 extra. Okay, let's say I have like, I don't know, like let's say I have 70% HP. Then what I would like to do is increase my defense. You can increase it through a rune, for example, through a title buff. You can maybe add some points in your talent tree towards defense or something like that. Okay, but you really want to have this, almost like try to push to have the same defense as your HP, and of course the higher those stats are, the better. Okay, a lot of people just focuses on attack. That's not gonna give you the best reports. Reports are a combination of the amount of damage you deal and the amount of damage you receive. If you're like dealing a shit ton of damage to the enemy, but he has a strong defense and that gets reduced by a lot, but you have literally zero defensive stats, he's gonna nuke you in the report. Okay, attack is strong, yes, because it affects to counter-attack damage, it affects the skill damage, etc, etc, so it's a strong stat. The issue is, in Rise of Kingdoms and in this game, is usually your highest stat, like by far. Like you can see here, I get 30% attack, like the artifact is like this Kingslayer, that's why he has like almost 35% more attack. Like Kingslayer gives double attack. If we check some of the Cavalier artifacts, attack, march speed, attack, you know, like this one gives HP, which is nice, but yeah, like attack, like you get a lot of attack from everywhere in the game. It's the same for Rise of Kingdoms, so that's why I'm literally just, as you can see here, I'm focused on defense and HP, and then I'm gonna focus on defense and HP again, because I wanna have, like, as I said, if you're carrying, like maybe if you're a rally elite and all you care really is to nuke down the enemy building, you can go with a full YOLO attack build, but the issue is gonna still be the diminishing returns. You're gonna, like, I don't remember exactly the calculations that we made in Rogue back in the day, but it was like, for example, from 0% to 100% stats, it was like pretty efficient. Then from 100 to 50, you started like losing some efficiency, and then from, I don't know, like 200 to 300% attack, for example, then every single point of attack counted like 2% of attack from 0 to 100. Okay, like I'm gonna try to add some info in the screen for you to understand this easier, but yeah. So my recommendation with tech, with runes, focus on HP, main priority is HP. Then again, like if you have equal HP and defense, you don't really need to pump the defense, then maybe you can go with some extra more attack. But if you have like, I don't know, 250 attack and you have like 70% defense, like buff the defense and the HP. It's gonna give you way better reports. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I'm doing some early game guides, some common knowledge guides, so yeah, see you in the next one.